Welcome. My name is Prince Amin, and I am the richest man in professional wrestling today. One of the reasons that I am the richest man in professional wrestling is that I have several businesses, several money-making businesses, and one of the most effective businesses is my Bollywood production company. That's right, and I know you've heard of it. We've created movies such as Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and Bollywood #1 Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum. And now we are going to create a new movie. We have created a new movie, and I want to show you a sneak peek. I call this one Gabe's Odyssey. Thank you very much.
Semi-final time in the AP Triple T. What's his problem? Lucas Archer pointing over at me here in the commentary booth, but in any case...
He was telling you to shut up, Dave, and you still never got the hint. He's a smart man.
Archer and Gracie, absent, of course, the genius, the brains of that operation, James R. Kennedy, looking to make the final of the tag title tournament.
I wish he was an archer. He could shoot you in the face with an arrow.
Here come the other semi-finalists, and this is going to be a mountain to climb for Prospect, a Cumbrian man mountain, as Johnny Moss arrives with Liam Slater.
Ladies and gentlemen, their opponents here tonight, talk about weight, 426 pounds. This is the team of the Lazarus Spirit, Liam Slater. His tag team partner, the vigilante, Johnny Moss.
Dave, there are a few things in life that you just think can't happen. I think it's impossible for
is just absolutely gobsmacked by the sheer size of Johnny Moss. Like, what do you do? What do you do if you're an opponent of Moss and Slater and you see that frame, that figure of Johnny Moss standing across from you? How do you begin to plan for that?
Well, I'll tell you what you do. You go on Ryanair and you book a long holiday and come back a couple of months after the match. That's what you do. So the last place you want to be is in a ring with Johnny Moss. I almost forgot to mention Liam Slater. This is one of the greatest young talents in the UK today, and I was so busy looking at the sheer size of Johnny Moss, I almost forgot he had a tag partner. It's like a wall.
Liam Slater, a great young talent in his own right, and more than played his part in the quarterfinal win that Slater and Moss had over Moustache Mountain. What a match that was at True Legacy. So it's going to be Lucas Archer, a delightful young man, I do say that firmly tongue-in-cheek, against Liam Slater to start this out.
Prospects are about as charming as a sewer rat with a bad case of rabies, and that's why I like him, Dave. Both of them.
Yeah, well, people do like to flock together to people with similar characteristics, so I can see why you'd like that.
What are you trying to say?
Quick tag by Archer on to Alex Gracie. What are they wearing? I mean, if the last place in the world you want to be is in a ring with Johnny Moss, the second to last place would be in a close shop with Prospect.
That worked for Mankind when he was Dude Love.
It's tie-dye, isn't it?
Tie-dye.
They're actually wearing tie-dye.
Tie-dye's coming back.
In the year 2016, Alex Gracie and Lucas Archer are wearing tie-dye.
It's making a comeback. I'm
Who
telling you,
said?
Prospect told me earlier. I've got tie-dye pants on.
Prospect, of course, for every bit that Liam Slater and Johnny Moss's path to the semi-finals was impressive, theirs was farcical. Prospect beating themselves in the quarterfinals under the guise of their Lucha Libre personas, Los Perspectiva.
And while you were flapping your gums again, Liam Slater was doing some incredible in-ring wrestling. I tell you what, every time I see Slater, I'm more and more impressed. He's almost as impressive as Johnny Moss's muscles, and that's impressive.
It is true that every time you see Slater, you think he's just gaining more and more from being under the learning tree that is Johnny Moss.
To learning mountain.
Moss with a great record of training young wrestlers up in Cumbria. Himself a product of the NWA UK Hammerlock School, very famous school, which you know a little bit about.
Liam Slater's... Do you see that? Liam Slater's nose is bust. He's going to taste his own blood and see red. Or get in his eye and see red.
And actually, that's not the first time that's happened to Slater, but that just shows you how prepared Slater is to put himself on the line, absolutely fearless, even if he does himself some damage in the cause of hurting his opponent.
Either that or he's doing his bit for comic relief. Red Nose Day.
It's nowhere near Red Nose Day.
I was just saying.
Oh, Gracie making a mistake, a big mistake. Slater, monkey flip. And Gracie tags Archer. It may have actually been a slight mistake by Slater because he ended up launching Gracie towards his own tag partner, enabling the tag. But speaking of tags, here he comes.
And listen to this. People know, Dave, that they are about to see a wrestling massacre.
It couldn't happen to a nicer guy either. Oh! Moss with the chop. Where is Kennedy, by the way? Where is James R. Kennedy?
If he's smart, he'll be booking that flight to Bermuda, just over the triangle.
Well, as much as I hate to say it, he has been a little bit smart by the way he was able to guarantee that his proteges here, the team he represents, would be in the semi-finals. Barring an upset, it'll be the semi-finals and out for Prospect.
Hold on. What do you mean guarantee? That massively tough contest
Against themselves.
There wasn't it. What do you mean against? We're not doing this again.
No, we're not. Slater tagged in by Moss. Again, that synergy between those two growing week by week. And also, they've shown a ruthless streak. To be able to beat Moustache Mountain, it really did take them to dig down and find something deep. Slater, known as the Lazarus Kid, as a double axe handle from Moss, and living up to that nickname with the resilience he showed at True Legacy.
Johnny Moss has got so many veins that his shoulders look like one of those plasma balls with about 10 pairs of hands on them.
That's a bit of an 80s reference.
Well, I had one of those.
That's when Prospect's ring gear was last in fashion, if ever.
That's not true, it's coming back.
Yeah, you mentioned that. Moss with Archer on his shoulders, Archer in some trouble. Lands on his feet. Good agility from Archer. There's a hip toss from Moss, and that's how dangerous he is. Only gets a 2 count, but Archer with the wind knocked firmly out of his sails.
And look at the chest of Lucas Archer. It's almost as red as the WCPW logo.
And hang on. Archer with the cover, only got 2. And instead Moss has Archer caught. There's a German suplex tag into Gracie. And Moss is being asked by this crowd to unleash all of the suplexes in his repertoire on Gracie.
I don't know what Grace is saying to him, but hopefully it's please, I beg you, don't hurt me, those kind of things. I love your veins.
I'm being told in my ear that the reason James R. Kennedy isn't here, by the way, is that Primate, who he's also managing, has somehow been let loose on the streets of London. Oh God! Kennedy's looking for him. So
there's about 10 lawsuits in 5 minutes.
Yeah, if you live in London, maybe lock your doors and bolt your windows.
If you see a giant man monkey hurtling towards you, run like the wind. Look at this. Oh. It's like watching a man chop down a tree with a Haribo hammer.
Gracie finding a lot of effort for not much reward with that line of attack on Moss.
God. Oh, his ribcage echoed around this whole building.
I shouldn't be enjoying this as much as I am.
Dave, a nipple just went flying into the second row.
This is the thing of beauty. Moss with the repeated chops to Alex Gracie. Oh, we're going to do it again. I said at True Legacy that Moss and Slater are my picks to win this tournament, the ridiculously named AP Triple T, the Adam Pacitti Tag Title Tournament. Why it's named after our general manager is something that he only knows. I'm going to stand by that prediction, though.
Look at Gracie go.
Yeah.
Wow. This kid's got fight. He might not have any nipples.
Not making a dent. And you see a big clothesline by Moss. Archer's on the top. Moss hasn't seen Archer. Archer's not tagged in. What's this? He got caught. And Moss caught him. And even with Gracie there to trip over, Moss was still able to regain his balance. Oh, Slater making an attack. We've seen this before. Archer trying to back that one off, because if Slater had been able to launch himself off Archer's back, it was curtains for Prospect. Gracie once again saving his partner. Referee's losing control of this one. How long have both of Archer and Gracie been in there?
I mean, I'm surprised, but the teaming of Prospects, I mean, I've said they are a hot prospect, but they are proving just why they're one of the best tag teams here, if not the best. They've just taken Johnny Moss out.
Moss, at least temporarily, is out of commission, and that leaves Slater to try and deal with this one on his own, but Archer not getting any joy from that attempt to take advantage of Moss's absence.
I'd say Prospects are tenacious.
Well, they certainly don't give up, even on a lost cause.
That's what tenacious means.
Yes, I'm saying maybe they should. Like, James R. Kennedy would be a lost cause. But of course, Archer and Gracie probably not with the brain cells between them to realise that.
Well, you're a brain surgeon now. You know how many brain cells they've got?
I know how many Kennedy has. Count that on one hand. Maybe a few.
He's got less than 5 brain cells. He'd be dead, wouldn't he?
What?
I'm just pulling you up on your nonsense. It's about time somebody did.
Right, Captain Biology. There's Archer. What year is this? It's like 1998, a Bronco Buster.
It's one of the hottest moves in wrestling right now.
Is it? It's coming back, is it?
It is, just like tie-dye. It's all coming back now. Oh.
Kick to the side of the head by Gracie, and there at least you are seeing where beyond the ludicrous shenanigans, Gracie and Archer are actually a pretty dangerous proposition once they get going.
Ludicrous but winning shenanigans, Dave, and that's what matters.
Oh, well, they've won once, and it was against themselves, as I said, but we'll see. Semi-final continues. As here comes Slater, rolls through, and Johnny Moss is going to launch himself. Double shot! Moss will clothesline Archer. One for Gracie as well. If there's one thing you don't want, if there's one thing worse than Johnny Moss, it's Johnny Moss with momentum. Overhead belly to belly on Gracie. Johnny Moss is fired up. That is bad news for Prospect.
Oh no, Dave, he's got both of them. We've seen this before.
And so have they.
Oh.
Gracie and Archer trying to fight out. Now what are they doing?
They may have just saved their own life. Too late.
Yeah, that's a funny way to save your own life. Moss powerlifting both Gracie and Archer. The fisherman suplex.
Fisherman brainbuster, that one. Drops him right on his head.
Moss just knows so many different suplexes, so many different ways to launch you over his head. And now maybe this time, Slater onto the back of Lucas Archer, and the headbutt by Gracie. This one is academic. Slater and Moss into the finals of the tag title tournament.
What a win, Dave. What a win.
Who will stop Moss and Slater? I'm not sure if anyone can.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winners of the match and advancing to the finals of the EP Triple Team, the team of the Lazarus Kid, Liam Slater, and the Vigilante, Johnny Moss.
Slater and Moss advance to the finals of the tag title tournament, the AP Triple T, where they will face the winners of our other semi-final here tonight on Loaded. The Strong Style Collective, Travis Banks and Pete Dunne, are going to take on the Coffee Brothers.
This is all business. Me and Johnny Moss all the way to the top. Tag team title.
Liam Slater brimming with confidence, and why wouldn't he be? He and Johnny Moss are now just one step away from striking tag team gold.
Oh, bollocks.
When Joe Hendry first got into wrestling, everyone that I spoke to had questions. They wanted to know, what's it like to be in a professional wrestling ring? And then once you've done that, they want to know what it's like to be out there in front of thousands here in WCPW. And I can try my best to tell you what that's like, but I cannot put into words the torture that I feel coming this close to being the champion here in WCPW, one of the most prestigious wrestling companies in the world today, one of the most watched wrestling companies in the world today, to stand at the front of that line. That's what I wanted. You know, I made my name through the entrances and the songs and the gold. But as I said last week, that does not equate to championship titles. So maybe it's time for me to find something within myself that you haven't seen yet. Maybe it's time for Joe Hendry to step in the steel cage. And that's why I issued the challenge to Joseph Connors, because there hasn't been a level playing field. So let's make it a level playing field. There can only be one WCPW champion, and I'm willing to put it all on the line in the steel cage. November 30th, delete WCPW.
Do you like magazines called wrestling? Then we've got a magazine called Wrestling for You. Issue 3 is out now. Now, it's actually hard to be disingenuous about this magazine. It's one of the best things we produce, in my opinion, and this issue is no different. It's held together by a list of the 100 greatest wrestlers of all time, comprised by not only you guys, but us guys, and also the WCPW wrestlers. Do you want to know who Will Ospreay considers to be the #1 greatest wrestler of all time? How about the Bruiserweight Pete Dunne, the Beast of Belfast Big Damo, the Iron Man Joe Coffey, the local hero Joe Hendry? Also Adam Pacitti tells you what he thinks, but who gives a shit about that? Am I right? I wish I wasn't fired. There's a piece running down the most influential giants in professional wrestling, a big piece about blading, a big piece about all the horrible wrestling crimes that Stephanie McMahon has committed. King Ross has a column, Jack the Jobber has a column, and of course we have a gigantic career retrospective on the #1 voted greatest wrestler of all time. Who's that? Well, you'll have to buy the magazine to find out. And what's more, it comes in 5 covers, 5 covers, 5 covers, 5 covers, 5 covers for you to choose your favourite, or buy all 5 if you're genuinely unstable.
Broken Matt Hardy, I would make this book a dilapidated book because I would have sex with it because it's that good.
Bret Hart, best there is, best there was, best there ever will be.
Shawn Michaels, the showstopper. Stop the show. Stop it! Stop it!
The Undertaker. Dong.
And Martin Kirby, available exclusively at WCPW events, for some reason.
So pick up your favourite copy of Wrestling Issue 3 today. Bollocks!